Welcome to my admin chat, the career behind the job. I'm Helen Monument. Thank you for joining me today. I've been in the administrative profession for more than 4 decades. Yes, I started working as a secretary in the last century. It wasn't my chosen career. I trained in the hospitality industry, so I became a secretary by accident. But that's a story for another day. But once I started, I was hooked. I love being the problem solver, the doer, the go-to person, the organizer, the one that made the magic happen for all those I supported. And my passion grew as I learned and developed in my role. I've had all of these roles and responsibilities and some amazing opportunities, and they have led me to become what I am today. I left my last job at Shell in 2020 to continue with my own business, Monumental Assistants, where I train and coach assistants at all levels to become monumental. So I understand the profession inside out. And I'm very proud to be the chair of the World Administrators Alliance. So, what is the World Administrators Alliance, you may ask? Well, we are, first of all, a non-profit trade association. Our members include administrative associations, networks, professionals, and industry partners across the globe, kind of like the G7. Now, the aims of the Alliance are to guide, develop, influence, and elevate the administrative profession. Working together with and on behalf of our members, we want to build a global community to enable everyone in our profession to speak with one voice. You may have heard about or even attended the World Administrators Summit, which is a working meeting held every 2 years, bringing together leaders from associations, networks, and industry experts from around the globe to discuss issues that are important to those in the administrative profession. And all the research we do and the reports that we produce are based on the data that we collect from professionals just like you from all around the world. The summit has discussed and produced papers and reports on topics like these: harassment in the workplace, this far and no further, international networking, international position titles, which was understanding job titles and responsibilities among administrative professionals, and the identity and image of administrative professionals, a global guideline for enhancing the profession. And we've produced Administrar, which is a set of guidelines for individuals to help them with their personal and professional development, and for associations and networks to help them with their strategies for supporting the development of their members. And then, of course, the Skill Set Matrix report, which became our Global Skills Matrix, the globally recognized framework for career development, which I hope you've heard of. And I'm delighted that in the year since the launch in September 21, there have been 5,000 downloads of the Matrix reports. For our research, when creating the Global Skills Matrix, we surveyed over 3,000 administrative professionals from 61 countries and revealed some startling and quite shocking statistics about our profession. One of those stats was that 73% felt their organisation didn't understand the role or the potential impact of using them properly. And we found over 160 different job titles in our profession. It's no wonder there's confusion and misunderstanding about the role and what it means. At the 11th World Administrators Summit in 2021, the Future of the Profession discussion group produced a paper with recommendations on how we can influence the perceptions of the role inside and outside the profession. Following up on those recommendations, the Alliance has launched an awareness campaign, The Career Behind the Job, to lead the conversation and to influence the positioning and the evolution of the profession by creating a realistic understanding of the unique role of those in business support, whatever your job title. So the purpose of our campaign, The Career Behind the Job, is to elevate the perception of the role in order to obtain the acknowledgement it deserves, to promote the profession as a career of choice, to inspire the younger generation to understand the lifelong personal and professional growth that the role gives. We want to influence stakeholders like HR, executives, recruiters, trainers to understand the diversity, scope, value and impact of this unique role. And we want to stimulate associations to take collective responsibility for a proactive and long-term approach to positively influencing perceptions of the career. Now, so far, we've been talking on social media, mainly to you, the professionals, but we know that this campaign needs to come from inside and outside the profession. So the next phase of our campaign will be aimed at our other target group. We've targeted those working in the profession through our social media channels, so I hope you're following us and have seen some of the posts and articles that we've shared encouraging all in the profession to speak up about what they do, to raise awareness of the role and to dispel the myths and stereotyping that surround the profession. We're continuing with this campaign, of course. And we're delighted that 93% of you stated on our LinkedIn poll that this profession is absolutely your career of choice. We'll soon be moving on to phase 2 to focus on our other target groups. So we're going to need your help to do this as well, to talk to your executives, HR managers, recruiters, those in education and professional trainers. So back to you. What can you do to become more visible and to promote this amazing profession? Well, we think you can focus on 3 things: yourself, the role, and the profession. Firstly, yourself. Now, this quote that we shared as part of the campaign came from Eth Lloyd, the former chair of the Summit Advisory Council. She presented this paper called Valuing Ourselves So Others Value Us to the summit in 2003. And in it she said this: we need to begin to take charge of our own futures. This might be in quite small things, such as putting our own membership of our professional association before some other costs in our lives. It may be larger, such as taking control of our own professional development and working towards our own future goals. It may be very large, by deciding to leave the job that we're currently in because we feel we are not rewarded sufficiently or not valued sufficiently, and choosing another job. If we do make the latter step, do remember that a fresh start can give us a great opportunity to change how we behave, but that it is how we behave that will make others treat us differently. Very wise words, and absolutely true today as much as they were in 2003. So we're talking about your personal identity and your image. To know thyself is the beginning of wisdom, Socrates said. Self-awareness and growing your self-esteem are essential. You need to discover what your values are and how you communicate those values. And don't let others define you. Growing your confidence and defining your own role are essential for removing that perception that, oh, anybody can do this job. And invest in your personal development. Ask for training. Explain how you'll benefit from it and how the company will benefit. And just don't wait for your company to offer it. There's so much training content out there, much of it free. Just look back at all the things that are on for you in the admin chats that have gone before. Be prepared to invest in yourself. Now, I don't need to tell you about the mindset. Certainly, you should grow. You should want to develop yourself, to learn more so that you add more value. We learn as we go, right? So sometimes we make mistakes, but with the growth mindset, we're staying in the game and learning how to do it better next time. Many of you are already role models doing an amazing job, but it is such a rewarding thing to be unselfish with your knowledge, to be willing to help others to develop themselves, and to lead the way for younger, less experienced professionals. Nobody likes the queen bee in the office who keeps everything that she knows to herself and doesn't, or himself, and doesn't share it with anybody else because they think that knowledge is power. So understand and nourish the skills and competencies that you have, and give recognition to yourself. If you're not getting it from anywhere else, pat yourself on the back. Discover how others see you by asking them for feedback, and learn from that constructive feedback that you get. And keep a file with all the positive feedback and the compliments that you're given, and accept them with thanks. I have a happy jar, and in this happy jar I put all the compliments and nice things that people say about me and good feedback that I get after my training and after I've spoken or written an article. And when I'm feeling a little bit near about myself, I go to my happy jar and take out some of those pieces of paper and just read what people have said about me. It's so reaffirming, and it's really, really good for your self-esteem. Then the role. This is all about understanding the role of the assistant, or whatever you call yourself. We want the world to recognize the range of roles and the depth of expertise that exists within our profession. We want to raise awareness of the high degree of responsibility, accountability, influence, and autonomy that's exercised within assistant roles. Your professional identity and image is what you project to the outside world about your role. So get onto LinkedIn, the professional network, and make sure you're visible there, letting your voice be heard on the issues that are challenging the profession, and celebrating your successes, being proud of what we do and being proud of what others do. So you create your professional portfolio. So in your professional portfolio, you should have your resume, your CV, references, any examples of writing that you've done, articles that you've written, all your technical skills, of course, and don't forget your personality type. If you have done one like Myers-Briggs or IOPT or the Strength Finders by Tom Rath, which is what I use with my coaching clients, to discover what their talents are and how to become excellent using those strengths. Being accountable means that you take ownership of the outcomes of your actions. You take responsibility for what you do, whether it goes right or wrong. You take charge of your performance management. You don't want to wait until the end of the year to hear from your executive that they're not satisfied with what you do. It's far too late then. So ask yourself every day, how did I do? What did I learn? What can I do better? So learn all about the business. Say yes to new opportunities. Take the lead and manage yourself as effectively as you manage your executive. And be the trusted advisor. Become the strategic partner for your executive. You are there to make them shine, to make them effective, to save the company money. If they're successful, you will be successful. It takes hard work, diligence, resilience, and energy. Understand their goals and KPIs so that you can align yours to theirs. and use the global skills matrix. Find your level and show the breadth and depth of the skills that you have and the added value that you bring to your organization. Use it to plan your career path. Use it to show what excellence means at whatever level you want to be. And don't sit in an ivory tower. You need to work with others to be successful, to learn and to grow. Collaborating with others gives you the opportunity to show your strengths and to learn from others. So working together with the assistants in your organization will show the benefits that will benefit everyone. And join a professional association or a network if you haven't already done so, and find one that suits you best. There are many out there. Find the one that's offering plenty of opportunities to learn and develop. And then volunteer for a position to give something back to the association. I did this at IMA when I became the executive chair, and I discovered it's the best free leadership training I could have had long before I became a leader in my job. It's all about learning communication, organization, problem solving, team building, collaboration, cultural differences, working with difficult people. It's a safe environment where you'll be supported and helped by your peers. It's the place you call your professional home, and you will never, ever stop learning. This is another quote that we used in the campaign from Lucy. I truly believe that if businesses were to utilize their administrative professionals properly, you could change the economy. That is so powerful. We know this. Now it's time for businesses to wake up and know this too. So we're talking about your business identity and image. So you advocate. You make sure your executives and your colleagues and your peers understand what it is that you do. We're not simply calendar queens or meeting moguls. We manage time, information, relationships, trust, and human capital. So how we talk about what we do has an impact on the perception that the outside world has about what we do. The more we learn, the better we communicate, and the more clearly we convey the image as the true business partner within our organizations. Being professional means being responsible for the impression that we make and for the image of our executives and our company. So be aware of what you say and how you act. Of course, you maintain confidentiality and stay away from gossip. We need to help recruiters to understand the complex skills and tasks that go to making up our job descriptions. If you don't have an accurate job description, how does anyone, even you, know what's expected of you? How is your performance measured? We need to define our own identity, demonstrate our skills, communicate the added value that we bring to the bottom line, and be clear about our career path. The Global Skills Matrix will help you with this. It will help recruiters target their job searches to the correct level by clearly stating on their job vacancies, this is a Global Skills Matrix Level 3 function. Then you know exactly what to expect. We want to persuade trainers to do the same thing on their training offerings. This training is a Global Skills Matrix Level 2. Easy for everybody to understand. Changing the perception of the profession is a slow process. We have been talking about this for many years and much progress has been made, but in some countries the profession is not as positive and respected as it is in other countries. We're no longer transactional. We're no longer waiting to be told what to do. We have influence and authority. We are leaders and do things as an executive would do. We build relationships with diplomacy and emotional intelligence. We're team players. We are the point of reference at the core of the organization. We see the big picture. We understand the purpose. We set the direction, and we know our executives' objectives. As an administrative professional with strong personal and professional skills, you are capable of establishing yourself in an irreplaceable and vital part of any organization. If you need any more proof of the value of an executive assistant, look no further than this article by Melba Duncan, who told the world all about it in her groundbreaking article in the Harvard Business Review back in 2011, and it's so true still today. Well worth a read. Our campaign is to positively communicate using role models, best practices, and success stories. And we know that nothing will change in this profession unless we change it. This will also be one of the discussion topics at the 12th World Administrators Summit that's going to be held on the 15th and the 22nd of October. The career behind the job. How can we mobilize the administrative professional to elevate itself once and for all? So follow us on social media to hear the outcomes of those decisions. Maybe you're one of the delegates that's taking part, representing your country. We really hope to see you there. So the call to action from our side is to invite you to join us in this campaign by engaging with your peers and your fellow members, by sharing our messages on social media, commenting on them, contributing to the conversation, starting your own discussion groups within your associations and your networks, amongst your company teams and during your business activities. There has never been a better time to focus on the value that administrative professionals bring to employers, to highlight and recognize the range of roles, the depth of expertise, the high degree of responsibility, accountability, influence, and autonomy that's exercised within the career. So help us to lead the conversation and to influence the positioning and the evolution by creating a realistic understanding of the role. Help us to elevate the perception of the role in order for it to obtain acknowledgement. Help us to promote the profession as a career based on a realistic definition. Help us to inspire the younger generation and to involve them for lifelong personal and professional growth. And help us to offer a perspective of further career opportunities, to create a realistic and fact-based approach, to collaborate with the relevant positions and people, and help us to stimulate professional associations and networks and their members to take personal and collective responsibility for a proactive and long-term approach. Please use these hashtags and share them whenever you see them on social media. And we would love it if you would subscribe to the monthly newsletter of the Alliance. Follow us on our social media, LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Download all the documents from this Global Skills Matrix, of course, and get in touch if you have any questions. Thank you for giving me your very valuable time today. Let me know what you think about our campaign. If you want to get involved, any kind of feedback you have for us, please let me know. You can write to me at my email address there below on the screen. Thank you once again for being here today, and I'll see you next time.